All right, we're live.
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, internets.
Greetings. I'm back on webcam in my normal place.
Hey.
Oh, well,
Everything's
you
yellow
will
on
be.
my webcam. I don't know why. Oh, I think I can fix
You
it.
will be in your normal place. Just give me a second. Anything else you guys want to talk about, or should we get going?
I mean,
I'm good to get going.
let's sling around our godly powers all willy-nilly and see what happens.
All right.
Pretty much.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
You're going to find out.
Fade to black.
So we have an Imperial Miracle to speak. I believe you have transferred that. But why don't you just say it? Say what happened in that project, and then tell us the one more thing.
Who should do it?
You, Matt.
Oh, sure. Okay. Yeah. So this is a project that I wrote on my character sheet at the very beginning, but we kind of all done it together. And Trek and Robert actually finished it. So it's how I healed my Imperator. We went to heaven on the back of a whale to find God. Failed when we learned that God was dead, and therefore could not assist us.
Mm-hmm.
I helped slightly by purifying my Imperator using my gift of laying on hands. And then Trek and Robert gave of their own energies in order to fund a miracle by the power of change to revert Umaya back to their former angelic state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crowdsourcing miracles.
Yep.
It's more of like a series. It's more of I like to think of it as more Series A.
Right. So it's going to converge
Literal
with
event.
Yep.
it's going to converge with Trek's project, how Trek inspired Umaya to leave the Chancel.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So do you want to talk about those ones then, or is that one complete?
Yeah, that one's complete. So, Trek, why don't you tell us what happened to that one?
Well, yeah. When Trek first found that Umaya had been cast into stone, it didn't sit well with him, and he pretty much decided that it was on him to get Trek out of, or to get Umaya back into the world and moving along their path again. So, and I don't have a note for what this other 10 is.
I think that is from last session. That is just
that was
Umaya becoming mobile again.
right. So yeah, once Trek and Robert gave up some of their power to change Umaya into a being that can once again be mobile, Trek and Umaya both began traveling through, I guess, the material plane is where we started.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
So you just travel the world?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So that's just what's happening. They're just traveling the world. And I know where they're going to end up. We all talked about this before the game.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to end up in the Locust Court, where Lord Entropy reigns supreme and rules over all of creation. Okay.
What does the Locust Court look like?
So the Locust Court, there's not a picture really. What my visualization of it is kind of like ancient feudal Japan with all those paper castles.
Interesting.
It's ruled over by a dog-headed creature Basically an anthropomorphic dog.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So Anubis kind of looking thing.
yeah, but like a lot less scary and more cute. Like a normal, like a corgi, almost. Like an anthropomorphic corgi.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. But this is where the evil Lord Entropy basically, rules the world. So I think there's also mentioned a swamp of precedent, which is a huge swamp at the edge of the chancel where every promise, what's her name? Lam gives is written down and is thrown into the swamp.
All right.
But she keeps her promises. It says, for thousands of years they are kept. And that's why she does not give promises lightly. So assumedly at some point she promised Lord Entropy, they could have the Locust Court here.
Okay. Very cool.
And this is a special place. Last session, Phineas used a miracle in front of a mortal. Broke her mind. This chancel is the place where people go to forget the wonder of the world and to re-accept normalcy. It's what keeps them sane.
Cool.
To forget magic, to forget extraordinary things that make no sense, just so they can, live their lives in peace. This is the place and the power that allows that to happen. But we have one more Imperial Miracle to speak, and that one is Robert's.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you think of anything for this?
I have been still ridiculously busy. I have not had a chance to even consider anything about this at all. Right now, most of my role-playing games are kind of do it, but then I don't have time to think about it after.
Sure.
I thought I had an idea before. I remember that I had one. Right. Could I use an Imperial Miracle to change sadism as it is?
Yeah.
Okay. And would that mechanically also change the properties? Could I do that?
Yeah.
Okay. That is what I will do. I'm going to think about what exactly I will do with that.
Okay.
Cool. So I'll do that right now.
Oh, you're thinking about it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm changing it. I'm just going to figure out what to change it to.
Okay.
Right now.
Yeah. So, we didn't write down what everything did, but
yes.
I believe there was something in here about understanding that you enjoy being sadistic.
And understanding that I enjoy it, and understanding that I get to control it. Understanding that sadism itself can be defined by me more than me being defined by it.
Right.
And that was the big thing that really was kind of like a moment. So I think the Imperial Miracle will be used to basically act upon that realization.
Sure. Yeah, so it was kind of like a slow build up. Like first it was like, oh, I'm addicted to being sadistic. And I was like, oh, I don't have to be, but I want to be anyway. And then it was like, yeah, I am actually in control of this. It's pretty cool. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's set the scene in the Locust Court. I think that Trek, you are driving with Umaya in a fancy sports car.
Sounds about right.
What does this sports car look like?
It's probably some kind of thing like a Bugatti Veyron, like somewhere around that, some very high performance.
Cool. Let me see if I can find a picture for the stream. So you're driving down.
Oh yeah, that's a nice car.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really nice car.
Do you think it's like? Do you think it's like an interstate or like a coastal highway?
Yeah, probably a coastal highway. If you're familiar with U.S. Route 1 that goes like up the California coast, probably looks like that.
So yeah, you're driving down. Also, Route 1 is on the east side because that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you're driving down the coast to check out Hurricane Irma.
Timely.
So you guys just drive down the coast into the hurricane in your sports car.
Yeah.
And I think you find in the middle of the hurricane, you look over and you see this, say it's a young man who looks like he's homeless. And he's just completely overwhelmed by this hurricane. And we see a pair of dogs appear, like out of nowhere, and a giant double hinged metal door appear. And he walks up the steps to these doors and pushes it open and goes into this other realm. And Umaya's like, oh, what's in there?
Yeah, I think we just I'd slam on the brake and come to a sliding stop, and
Sure.
we'll go check it out.
You don't want to drive through the doors?
I mean, okay, the car will fit through the doors?
Yeah.
Then yes, I will totally drive my car
So
through the doors.
you drive up the stairs and into the door, and then you're surrounded by this medieval Japanese landscape. And you're just driving around the I guess it's dirt roads, and you like drive past this rickshaw and drive past the grass fields, and eventually you come to this large paper castle. I say it's paper, but it's like, I think mostly it's decorated with paper. I'm not entirely sure how much these castles were actually made of paper, but that's what they called them, I think. But it's the tall castle with triangular roofs that are stacked up on each other. And I think Phineas is there. Is that okay, Phineas?
Sure.
Is it time for you to bring? It's time for you to bring your suit against the locust, against Tarte Upnapishtim.
Yes, as I planned all along, indeed.
Right.
Yeah.
And
yeah, no, that sounds great.
Primarch, do you want Satanism to be there?
I think so, yeah. I think that it is.
Are you just tooling around with Phineas, or your Imperator?
Are
you in the back seat?
I would be in the back seat.
Yeah, okay.
Is the passenger seat full?
Of course, that's where Umaya is.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not going to make your
I've probably
your Imperator sit in the back, are you?
Put him in the trunk. No, that's fine.
I have a technical question.
Yeah.
Doesn't Umaya in their original form look like a bunch of burning discs?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And they're also
That's
like
all.
800 meters wide. So when you look over at Umaya, like there's a perspective problem. It gives you a giant headache.
It's like this doesn't. Yeah, there's like this isn't how physics works. The car is not a mile wide.
Right.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Umaya,
just making sure I had the picture in my mind.
Right. But yeah, you come to the Padoga, and yeah, Phineas, what do you do when you see your familia drive up in a car?
So I think I'm holding a very large book, probably,
Sure.
and reading, because the first thing that Phineas would do would be treat this as a matter of theological law, so he's just been reading. 'Cause that's what you do.
Okay.
So I think I'm holding like a very large book, like comically large, and I'm reading it, and the pages are like, each of the pages is like a sheet of very thin granite, and all of the writing on it is in some like weird, it's in some like completely unknown on Earth hieroglyph thing, but
Sure.
because we're nobles, still read it.
Right.
And each letter is written in the blood of a different animal. And the two, the like front cover and back cover of it, one is made out of I've got to think about this. The front cover is made out of glass, 2 sheets of glass, with a white flower pressed in between them, a dried wet flower pressed in between them. It's a white flower, and you flip it over and you look at the back, and it's got like a red flower crushed inside it. And if you look closely, you can see like actually the fairy crushed inside each of the 2 flowers that have been like pinned between these 2 pieces.
Berries?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a little like garden fairy.
Oh, a fairy. Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because you kind of cut out for a second.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, like a little garden fairy. So I'm holding this big book, and I look up, and I close it, and it doesn't make like a thunk sound like you would expect a book to make, because all the pages are made out of a sheet of very thin slate. So it makes like a ka-chunk sound, and then I put it to the side, and I smile, and I take my glasses off. I have those like I've got a beard, right, and a big smile, and I've got those like wire glasses that have like it's just like 2 squares. There's no like rims to them, and it's just the I don't know what kind of glasses, but it's just got like what's this part of the glasses?
Oh, the ear parts?
The ear part, yeah. What do you call that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I would consider that part of the frame, but
the frame,
that, no.
yeah. I take those off and I wave. And I
The
smile.
Actually, just called end pieces.
End pieces?
The earpiece.
That's so boring.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't feel so bad for not knowing that because somebody else knew.
That's a silly name.
Yeah, there's the hinge, there's the temple, and there's the earpiece.
Okay.
And this whole thing is the arm.
Arm. That works. The arm.
Oh, okay. The end pieces are actually what they connect to on the sides of the eye. The arms themselves are called temples.
Yeah.
Huh.
According to this.
It's super weird.
Because they go on your temple?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
And the curved part is a temple tip.
And the more you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why I play RPGs, to just look up don't know like this and file that away for never using it ever again.
Yep. Right? So I wave.
Yeah, I think we get out of the car and Trek looks around and looks at Robert and says, "So, where exactly is this?"
I thought you would know.
I was just driving.
So we're lost?
How many times do I have to tell you, Robert? It's not the destination; it's the journey.
So we're lost.
I mean, Phineas is here. He might know. I assume Umaya knows, but I'm not going to tell him I don't know where I am.
Are you within earshot, Phineas?
Yes.
Okay. I look to you in a "Are we lost?" looking for confirmation expression.
I guess I shake my head and I'll come over and say, are you okay if I set a timeline? Will?
Sure.
I'm just gonna say like, I didn't know you were coming. My suit is about to be called.
For a sec, I think Robert initially interpreted it as a literal suit, like one he's wearing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I was just about to say your clothes look fine. Like,
Yeah.
I think I opened the door, and I probably because I am not a politically clever person, but I'm a theologically clever person. I probably open the door for Umaya first.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, Umaya gets out of the car, explodes up to her full size, and then squeezes back down to the door.
Yeah, clown
it's
car
like
style.
It's like how, the moon, like, apparently it always should look the same size, but our brains see it different sizes. Like, just perspective changes are extremely jarring.
Right. Wait, so do they leave? Are they like big enough to do something else? Did you say they do get big and above, or did they do something else?
Oh, they get big, and then they go in the doorway into the Locust Court.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
And I think I gesture to my familia and say, "Shall we?"
as long as you know where we're going.
Yeah.
I'll explain along the way. We don't need to.
I'm muttering under my breath. You can't even drive to Japan.
Yeah. So like I think we get like a panning shot up as we start like going, like we start walking up the stairs to the door to the Locust Court.
Yeah.
And like I'm explaining, and we get a panning shot up, away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I think when the camera comes back, we see Lord Entropy for the first time. So Lord Entropy is, let's say he's about 12. He's sitting on a throne. It's a very elaborately decorated throne with ancient Chinese symbols carved into the side. He's being fanned by a geisha. He's wearing what looks like to be, normal clothes a teenager would wear. A t-shirt, a stylish set of jeans. Looks like he's got a chain on one side, around the belt loop. And he's got dyed black hair, if you use grease to dye your hair. Like shoe polish almost.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also wearing really severe makeup, like eyeshadow and black lipstick, and he's got a nose ring.
Okay.
He's the power of early 2000s goth kids.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
I think I mutter something about my son under my breath.
And right in front of him are mostly humanoid-looking figures, but they're all wearing clothes from different times and cultures. The ones who aren't humanoid are mostly dog-headed anthropomorphic people who seem to be servants, except for one, which is obviously an imperator. They are, subtly glowing with power. There's also a number of other imperators there. The other 3 members of the Locust Court
Mm-hmm.
Who are they? I'm not entirely sure. There is Surlam, Lord Entropy, Ananda. Oh yeah.
I'm curious, is Entropy one of the Lord Entropy's actual domains, or is it just his name? Like estates?
I think it's his name.
Okay.
I think that his powers, like, I don't think he has a power of entropy.
It's supposed to be weird for you, Zen.
Yeah, a little bit.
Lord Zentropy.
Yeah. He's the Imperator of Desecration, Destruction, and Scorn.
I see.
So he is absolute destruction as opposed to Zaphael, which is destruction as part of the cycle of life.
Yes.
So, annihilation versus the apocalypse.
Yep. Basically.
His powers are there. There's Maon, the power of destruction. Ba Herman, the power. Oh, Maon is the power of desecration. Ba Herman is the power of destruction, and Joktan is the power of scorn.
Are these creatures human at all? Because those are not human-esque names.
They are human, but their servants are not. So they have ogres that serve them. So big hawking brooks, and then nimblejacks, which I think are like goblins that are very stretched out, so that they're tall and scary.
Okay.
They like to eat people.
Interesting.
The other one are Ha-Quadash Baraka, who is an imperator of the current age, I believe. Oh, no, that's not right. I think they're dead. No. Sorry, I don't have a list of the imperators on the throne. But there's the imperator of the current age, who I think is the Quadash guy. And then there's the imperator of the age to come, who is Ananda, the imperator of murder.
That bodes well for the next age.
Yeah. And this is currently the age of the war.
Yeah.
So the power of war is the embodiment of the current age. Or the imperator of war. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I think Lam, the corgi-headed anthropomorphic imperator, says, Lord Entropy, our next case is brought to you by the power of dinosaurs against the Excrucian Tarteopnopishtum for violation of contract. And Lord Entropy waves his hand. He's letting somebody drop grapes into his mouth. Not really paying attention to you.
While this is going on, Robert is looking around and seeing all of these crazy powerful, but also pretty, by his interpretation, pretty definitely evil, or selfish, or people.
Sure, some of them. I think that for sure.
Yeah. And I think that he knows that something is wrong in terms of Umaya getting they're here because Umaya was blamed for whatever happened for God's death, basically. I think that I would like to start a project about something that Robert wants to do.
Sure.
Called How I Uncovered Who Was Really Responsible for Umaya's Fall.
Okay.
Who really placed the blame on him.
Cool.
I think he can, now seeing how malaise the government of the universe is. I think he thinks that they're infallible would not even be remotely accurate. So I think he wants to find who fallied up, who made the mistake of blaming and then framing Umaya and bring that to light.
Cool. So let me ask you this. Do you feel a kinship with all these evil powers?
That is a thing I'm not 100% sure about. So I have just changed, with my Imperial Miracle, I've just changed my estate properties. One of them is now called Punishes Those Who Deserve It. Which means some of them I probably feel a very strong kinship to. More like, but some of them are probably two of them, you say two friendly imperators who like each other and are friends with each other. One of them I like, one of them I hate.
Right.
Just because of the sort of they're on the other side of the line.
Sure.
Yeah. So, I don't think people like Lord Entropy, I'm not sure. I think that someone who's just about destruction as a whole, being the leader of the universe that is at war with beings of nothingness who want to effectively destroy the universe, seems counter objective.
It does.
So,
do you ask anybody?
Oh, not right now.
Talk to anybody about these ideas?
I probably will, but okay. I think right now, I might start these are similar clocks. One project is specifically who made Umaya fall, but another project could be just like how I started punishing like imperators and powers.
Yeah, like you can make as many projects as you want. It's just the ones that are interesting.
Yeah. Like Zaphael is not someone to punish because he feels really bad and wishes he wasn't so destructive.
Yeah.
I remember. I have that written down still.
Okay, so it's okay to destroy as much as you want as long as you feel bad about it.
I'm surprised you're saying
the line. Like,
no, I think that is more. He is going to start with the worst, start with the biggest weeds, which might be Lord Entropy himself. Yeah. But I don't know how I started to. I'm putting this in air quotes. Enact justice within. What's the name for the larger universal like government, bigger than Locust Court? Because I assume there's more than 5 people in the whole government.
No, it's the Locust Court.
Okay.
These 4 are just the leaders.
I see.
What should it say?
Perfect.
Yeah, the leaders are called the Council of 4.
Yeah. But I think Zaphael is interesting because his specifically is like usually natural disasters.
Yeah.
It's like punishing someone for a tidal wave. It's like...
Can you really blame somebody that just has... Everywhere they go, there's world-spanning destruction?
No.
I mean... When you invite a klutz into your house and they break a bunch of stuff, I think you still blame them a little bit.
That's true. You also blame yourself. But now we know better.
Yeah.
Fool me once. Or try to kill me and the entire world once. What was I going to say? I should talk to him. I'm going to start another clock. I'm starting so many projects. How I shared my realization with Zaphael. If he feels bad about killing about being so destructive, he can change his properties so he isn't so destructive. Can he? Can I share my revelation with him?
Yeah, you could try.
Okay.
I'm not sure Imperators change that much, but you might be able to convince his powers to change who they are.
Okay, I'm going to do that as well.
But yeah, you could change another Imperator, I guess. Just remember that, like, the same way, like, you're changing you're changing what sadism means for yourself because you're the power of sadism.
Yes.
It's not like Umaya is telling you, "Oh, I decided sadism should be different. Here's what to do." That she's saying, and I guess now she is a she because she used to be a she and now she has gender again. So she's
okay.
She's telling you, you are sadism. You decide what it's like, and then I'll embody that.
So I've named it "How I Shared My Revelation with Zaphael and His Powers."
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, like maybe the reason he's so destructive is because his powers want him to be. That'd be kind of sad.
That would be something I could handle with my enacting justice within the Locust Court.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So Lord Entropy has motioned to Phineas to begin his case.
Indeed. What is the proper mode of address for Lord Entropy?
I'm pretty sure it's Lord Entropy.
Just Lord Entropy?
Yeah.
And is Terteut Napishtim here?
I think he will be here. He's showing up fashionably late.
Indeed. He thinks he can travel wherever he wants. But no. Okay, so I'm going to I guess I start my opening monologue.
Okay.
Which I address each of the members in turn. And I say, I come here humbly and do like a very, I'm really playing up the like humble new noble kind of aspect of things. And I think I get to the end of that, and I think I will ask them pointedly, but not so obviously pointedly, if we should wait for the other party to arrive.
Okay. Tell me, like, have you said anything of, I don't want to say of importance, but of a weight? Like, have you announced your charges? Have you given, given something to back up what you said?
I don't think I've introduced my suit yet.
Okay.
Except to say that it involves Terteut Napishtim, and Terteut Napishtim is here.
So I think Lord Entropy just waves his hand and says, the accused is an excrucian. We can try anyone in absentia. I doubt it's important. Go on.
I say very well. I mean, we've been over the meat of my case before.
Right.
And if we're okay...
But I need context to determine what Lord Entropy is going to do.
For sure, yeah. So the meat of my case is, and I think I produce a copy of the contract that I made while we were on the back of that whale. Mm-hmm. Whatever that was, like 2 days ago.
I don't know. Time is weird.
Yeah.
It's been like a week, honestly.
And I state that the excursion Terteut Napishtim is in violation of their contract, which enabled them to pass into creation. The contract clearly indicates in paragraph in section S, paragraph 3, line 4, that the excursion is to remain within the bounds of the creation into which they enter. The creation that they chose to enter was, a chancel. Ergo, they are bound by the law of Lord Entropy and the council to the chancel, to our chancel.
Cool. Are you buttering up Lord Entropy at all during this?
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure.
And I'm playing down my own importance, right?
Okay. So you're like acting very humble and
yeah, like I'm very much like I present
Entropy.
myself as a petitioner from the chancel,
Okay.
right? On behalf of my Familia Celestis and my Imperator Umaya.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I'm playing to his ego for sure.
Okay. Why don't you set an intention level?
Sure.
Unless you want to make a miracle about this.
I don't think so. Not right now.
Sure.
So I think. Do I have any skills that relate to this? Is this? This is a kind of a semi-theological debate.
Sure.
Like it is a theological law.
I'll let you use theology.
So if you're all right with it, I'll use theology. So that's 2.
Okay.
And then hang on, I need to look up the rules for skills again.
Yep. Some immortal actions.
Let's play a game.
Chart.
Mortals.
Now I've already decided what Lord Entropy is going to do.
Yeah, and what do I want to get up to? Impress people, do something effective, do something productive, something better, do something stand good, do something really effective, maybe block. Let's just go with 4.
Okay.
So I will spend 2 will and use my theology skill to get up to an intention level.
So Lord Entropy is more concerned about being really cool, and that means he is intention level is 6. So he just is like, oh, this technicality isn't important. We don't need to hear any more about this. So he's not interested in continuing this legal case. Like he just brushes it off.
Hey, I have a new affliction that's going to help here.
Okay.
I am driven to acts of hubris.
Yeah.
I think it's a mortal wound. I think I get 5 points for it.
It's
not a deadly wound.
Yeah, it's a level 5 affliction.
Yeah, it's a level 5 affliction.
Okay.
So I think I get 5 points for that, and hang on, sorry, 1 second. I also have cool of 2, which I think drops his mundane dismissal down to
4. I don't think cool works against Imperators like that.
Yeah. It depends.
Like when I say he's at 6, it's like probably he's using an aspect miracle to get to 6.
Oh, okay. So we're using okay. If we're using miracles at this point, then yeah, I'm just gonna scrap.
Okay.
That. I don't actually have that many.
I mean, you can still overcome a miracle with mundane actions. I'm just saying he's fixed his level of caring about things at 6 because he's more impressive and looking. He's more interested in looking impressive and in control than he is about anything else.
Indeed. Okay.
Do you want to take point of this? Or are you going to be the one who speaks most of the time? This is, I think, your case.
It is, but I think if this moves out of the theological debate and into the realm of personal politics, I am out of my element, and I think I may make a. I may give you a look.
Yeah.
But let me try one more thing.
Yeah, be hubristic, because also, like, playing to Lord Entropy's ego doesn't feel very hubris-filled to me. So you can't... I think you have to choose between an active hubris and
Mhm.
appeasing Lord Entropy. Unless you... I don't know how you can mix the two, but
No, yeah,
I'd
I
have to
can't.
be
I can't.
convinced.
I can't find a logical way to do that either.
Yeah.
But I feel like debating Lord Entropy in general and trying to convince you should care about this is hubristic.
Sure.
So I'll start there, and then I guess I need to. Do I need to proclaim? Do I need to like name a skill and to take an action, a mundane action,
No.
or can I just say I'm doing this thing?
You do need to tell me what you're doing. It's either a mundane action
Mhm.
or it's a miracle of some kind.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I think I'm not good at the lying and the buttering, I guess, in the end. So I'm going to use my aspect 2,
Okay.
which is what I have play. Then I'm
Okay.
going to use my 5-point affliction driven to acts of hubris.
Okay.
And I need to figure out what I'm going to do, but it's going to be very dramatic. No, okay. I can't figure out exactly what I'm doing here, so I will rather than slowing down play, I will pass the torch to
Sure.
if you had.
I mean, just tell me how you be hubris and just make it a mortal action. Remember that afflictions are mostly acted upon by the GM, so I can say there's a level 7 miracle based on what, but you have to give me a direction.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to. I could just choose to take control of your character and tell you what happens, but I don't want to do that. I want you to give me a direction.
Right. Yeah, I'm having trouble figuring out my direction here. I know what I want.
Okay.
I know
Well, tell
what
me
I
what
want
you
the
want.
outcome to be, but I don't know how to achieve it exactly.
Tell me what you want.
I mean, I want to make a big scene.
Okay.
Yeah, no, hang on. Okay.
I don't want to put words into your mouth, but
No, I know. Okay, which law is it that says you sevenfold degree?
yeah.
Which law is that?
The chestnut law, thou shalt harm none who has done no harm, nor wreck nor vengeance than in the sevenfold degree.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to very dramatically. I have that huge book, right? The one that's made out of little sheets of slate.
Yeah.
And I pick it up and I slam it down on the like on the table or whatever that I'm standing behind.
Mhm.
And I think that the table itself shatters and I say, is it not the I need to figure this out, sorry. Is it not the law of Lord Entropy to harm none? Is it not the law of Lord Entropy that yeah, sorry. In the laws of Lord Entropy say that you shall do no harm, but by letting this being into reality, that is a sin itself against creation. And if Lord Entropy were to allow this, the laws of the Locust Court would surely necessitate a punishment in the sevenfold degree upon Lord Entropy himself. I feel like that's That's pretty
Okay.
hubristic.
Yeah,
Um,
that's hubristic.
so I think we're going to say that your affliction activates. It's going to do a level 7 persona miracle on Lord Entropy, making him
Okay.
hungry and primitive.
All right.
So Lord Entropy is filled with a hunger for blood, like he wants to see someone suffer now. Probably filled with sadism.
I can get with that.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
just very sadistic, and like he leans forward and he says, the sevenfold rule of the Chestnut Law is intended to prevent powers from fighting and prevent excrucians from hurting powers. It's not intended to restrict anyone from their freedoms. And he waves his hands, and the table reconstitutes, and he says, you destroy this table without a second thought. And he waves his hand again, and the table is now a stone golem. He says, you destroyed this table. Is it not within that table's right now to crush you 7 times as hard as you crushed it? And the stone golem like raises his arms very impressively, and people are, the people of the courtroom are like shying back in fear of this pronouncement.
Do we want to take a break?
Sure, let's take a break.
That was an impressive. That was impressive.
All right, we'll be back in 5 minutes.